Okay, I'm not normally the kind of person who responds to somebody calling a game I like unfairly difficult by just telling them to get good at it. But Blue Blade Bot's video on Mario 2 very much gives me that reaction. And look, Mario 2's a hard game, I'll gladly admit that. But just watch how he tries to make level 5-1 look way more difficult than it actually is.
First off, the level starts with needing to throw a Shy Guy riding an ostrich at a Panzer. Then you need to head it into this cave where your faith in the level drains faster than I'm not even going to come up with a proper analogy for that. First, you gotta jump on logs, which is fine, you did this since the first level, but then you gotta start jumping on these tiny-ass fish as well as the logs, and then nothing but tiny-ass fish.
I'm sorry, just look at this. He doesn't even attempt a super jump, let alone try to land on the fish from the looks of it. He quite literally just jumped right and hoped that would be enough to carry him. After he just got done with a section that revolved around platforming over a bottomless pit, therefore implying the next part of the level would also do the same. And by the way, if this section is too difficult for you as Luigi, you could just float over this entire part as Peach, like YouTuber Aqualung is doing right here. And by the way, he introduces this level by saying,
Yeah, by going inside certain pots in subspace, you can warp to other worlds, and it's my preferred method, because it makes getting through this game a whole lot less painful. But no matter how you do it, there's also the fact you have to put up with World 5-1.
But that's also not true. Here's a YouTuber named Mario Master X9000 getting the warp zone in World 4, which directly takes you to World 6. Therefore meaning you can skip 5-1.
You would think the worst is over, but eventually you reach World 7.
Yeah, the later levels are harder than previous ones. Is that a foreign concept to you?
Where it just bombards you with enemies left and right, and there's nowhere you can catch a frickin' break.
You'd think it's the last level of an already difficult game or something. I don't even know how to respond to this outside of, yeah, it's hard. What do you expect exactly? You don't even make an argument for it being unfair or anything. You just say there are a lot of enemies. Okay, well, on its own, that doesn't really tell us anything.
And to top it all off, there's Wart, who can only be hit in the mouth when it's open, and it only stays open for a split second before he starts blowing bubbles, which somehow cancel the vegetables that you need to throw at him. This took me a while. This one really, this has to be one of the worst bosses that I've faced in a long time. Hell, Wart is probably one of the worst villains I've faced in a long time. I'm not even going to bother going as to why. You can figure it out yourself.
I actually can't because you haven't really expressed any issue outside of maybe the short amount of time you can hit Wart. But even then, going through your footage, that appears to not really be an issue. Given every time you have a vegetable, you do hit him. And you yourself don't get hit once during the fight. At least in the clips you showed. It does cut to you having one heart later on in the boss fight. However, you never show yourself getting hit, which, given you're trying to make Wart look difficult, is a massive missed opportunity on your part. Show us something unfair about the fight. Show us you taking damage that was the game's fault and not yours. Show us something. Anything. Anyway, that's all I want to cover, so final thoughts? You don't strike me as particularly knowledgeable about the game in question, and the fact that you don't explain quite a few of your points further makes me not feel like you are particularly good at reviewing. However, if you were to fix these, I imagine you could be pretty decent. Good night, and good luck.